gets inside, leans in, knocked away and stolen by Holiday. Phoenix has to foul. Foul, throws it down.
The Milwaukee Bucks are the defending NBA champions, and they made moves this offseason to make themselves a better team going into next season. Yet, nobody's giving them the respect they deserve. Well, in this video, I will explain why the Milwaukee Bucks are the favorites to come out of the East. If you're new here, my name is Lavoris Weathers, and if you love NBA content, go ahead on and smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a video. Now, of course, I'm aware that the Brooklyn Nets have Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and KD, arguably the three most talented offensive players ever assembled in NBA history. But even with all that greatness, there's only one basketball. Only one person can shoot the ball at a time. And of course, we can't hate on James Harden. He's one of the best playmakers in the game. But it's safe to say that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, if they're not scoring the ball, what value do they really bring to the team? And in addition to this, at best, all three players are average to below average defenders. I'm one to believe you can't win a championship with offense alone. You got to play some defense. Now, don't get me wrong. I most definitely think the Brooklyn Nets are title contenders, and I look forward to watching a lot of Brooklyn Nets basketball. But as a fan of the NBA, I plan on watching a lot of Milwaukee Bucks basketball as well, and I think they're title contenders too. And before you click off this video, let me explain to you why. It appears the NBA community, and when I say NBA community, I mean NBA players, NBA analysis, NBA fans, NBA YouTubers, everybody who deals with the NBA. It appears that they're discrediting the Milwaukee Bucks championship because they said it was lucky because of this play right here.
Gets it into Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots.
When I see that shot, first thing come to my mind is great shot, KD. One of the biggest shots in playoffs history. But on the same token, it was a 2, not a 3. And let's take it one step further. Although it wasn't a 3, so you didn't win the game with that shot. Let's be honest, if you missed that shot, game over, Milwaukee Bucks on to the next round. But you tied the game up, and you put your team in a position to go into overtime. 5 extra minutes. If your team was that much better than the Milwaukee Bucks, y'all would have beat them in overtime, right? You can't call the Milwaukee Bucks lucky. If anything, Brooklyn had momentum going into overtime. So Brooklyn should have been able to take that momentum and just run off with it.
They say what they want, but they gotta say we champs.
And I know some of you guys are going to say, well, Kyrie wasn't playing in the last 3 games, or James Harden wasn't himself. Man, we going to say that. We're going to say all this cap because the Lakers would have won if AD didn't go down.
But now, here's the cause for concern on the Lakers side. Anthony Davis
did not return to this game.
But this video not about the Brooklyn Nets. This video not about the Los Angeles Lakers. It's about the Milwaukee Bucks. Now let's break down how the Milwaukee Bucks have the best chance of coming out of the Eastern Conference. But in order to do this, I'm going to need you guys to stay with me. So first, think about the Golden State Warriors and when they went on that amazing run.
Steph Curry and Draymond Green could start their celebration.
That Golden State Warriors team was built around Steph Curry. They didn't go out and get bigs because they know they're a running gun team. Draymond Green became an all-star on that team behind Steph, being a superstar. You could say the same thing about Klay Thompson. And what I mean by became all-stars under Steph Curry, Draymond Green came into the league as a small power forward, was blessed enough to be put in a position to match perfectly with a player like Steph Curry. And you could say the same thing about Klay Thompson. Him being a knockdown shooter and a lockdown defender was perfect besides Steph Curry. They created a dynasty in Golden State. They built it from the ground up through the draft, retaining players, and just building on the players that they got. The Milwaukee Bucks somewhat have done the same thing as far as building from the ground up. They have their key piece in Giannis, and they're building around him. And just so I put this out here, I'm not saying the Golden State Warriors and the Milwaukee Bucks play anything alike. What I'm trying to say is the Golden State Warriors are built around Steph Curry. The Golden State Warriors have put players around Steph Curry to maximize the way Steph Curry play. And I see the Milwaukee Bucks doing the exact same things with Giannis. They put shooters all around Giannis from the top of the roster to the bottom of the roster to maximize the way Giannis play and to hide his weaknesses. I feel as though this is a very important factor because individual players don't win championships. Teams win championships. And the Milwaukee Bucks have the best team in the East. And if we're being honest, unless Ben Simmons go back to Philadelphia, no other team can compete with Milwaukee or the Brooklyn Nets. So let's say it's a 2-race team out of the East to see who's going to make it to the finals. Let's dive into the Milwaukee Bucks roster. And I'm not huge on numbers, but I think these numbers are important. Last year, Giannis averaged 28 points, 11 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1 steal and 1 block. Chris Middleton averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists and 1 steal. And Drew Holiday averaged 17.7 points, 4.4 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 1.6 steals. There's this argument around I guess, the basketball world that this is not a big three. In the comments, somebody explain to me how those type numbers from your best three players are not the type of numbers that big threes put up. I guess that's my first reason for saying the Milwaukee Bucks are coming out of the East, because they have an established big three as well. Now, of course, they're not glorified scorers like Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, but when you look at the numbers, they're all around good players. Anytime you got your three best players averaging 28 points, 20 points, and 17 points, and that's pretty good. They're not just giving it to you on the offensive end. They're all defensive players, and they most definitely bring other things to the game. And so I think that's one hell of a big three. And one of the amazing things about this big three is they all have room for growth. Giannis showed that he can make free throws. Like in his closing game, he went 17 out of 19. But for the season, he only shot 68% from the free throw line. Also, Giannis' game is really built off of downhill, pure athleticism and strength. Imagine if Giannis truly had a post game, a up and under, a hook shot, a fadeaway. And the last thing, Giannis can continue to work on his three ball. He's showing that he's not scared to shoot the ball, so the percentage is going to go up. Or he just may be like Russell Westbrook for all his career, not scared to shoot it, but being a dominant player, and teams will have to play him honest because he's not scared to shoot the ball. When you think about a player like Jrue Holiday, you really can't ask for much more from him. I mean, he's giving you 17 points, he's giving you 6 assists, he's giving you 4 rebounds, he's giving you a steal. I mean, he's giving you so much at the point guard position, you can't ask for more. And when you look at Middleton, of course Middleton has some bonehead plays, but he's a shot maker, he's a shot creator. He's that for the Milwaukee Bucks. Some people are going to say he's not a number 2 player, he's more like a number 3 player. Well, in a system, he's a great number 2 player because he knows exactly what his role is on the Milwaukee Bucks, which is why I kind of gave you guys that example of the Golden State Warriors earlier. Draymond Green know his role on the Golden State Warriors, but he's still considered an all-star. Do you kind of see where the contradiction or where it confused me at how this is a big three, but this is not a big three? I will say this, the one thing I've come to realization with when it comes to NBA fans or the NBA community, when it comes to big threes, you have to be a legend. You have to be like a 20-point scorer for 5 straight years, and then you gotta group up with a group of players, and now you got a big three. Today's generation, or I guess the old generation, or whether it's a combination of the two, have a hard time thinking a big three can be today's players. But I realize I can go on and on about big threes and how I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks got a big three, and I know it's gonna be somebody in the comments who's gonna tell me exactly how the Milwaukee Bucks are not a big three, and gonna tell me how like they're not Hall of Famers and all of this crap. But getting back on topic, a championship team need more than the big three. The Milwaukee Bucks not only have a big three, they have a hell of a supporting cast. Having Brook Lopez as a stretch 5 who can also guard the rim opens the floor for Giannis in ways you guys don't understand. People don't even talk about this. I know I'm probably butchering his name, but Dante DiVincenzo, he didn't even play after the first round. People talk about injuries. Milwaukee Bucks didn't even have their starting shooting guard the whole playoffs. And going into the season, he may not be ready. But no need to fear it. They brought in Grayson Allen, who actually shoot the ball better and who may be a better, I'm not going to say he's a better defender. I'm going to say they're virtually the same player. Grayson Allen just shoot the ball better. He shot it at a 39% clip, whereas Vicino shot it at a 37% clip from 3. You're not wanting them to be superstars. You want them to be spot-up shooters and can play gritty defense. Once again, the Milwaukee Bucks team is built around Giannis Antetokounmpo. A couple other players that the Milwaukee Bucks brought in, which makes this roster stronger, are Rodney Hood, George Hill, and Semi Ojeleye. I know they lost PJ Tucker, but I promise you guys, Semi Ojeleye and PJ Tucker are virtually the same player. The only thing is, if you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, know you're getting a younger player, Semi Ojeleye, who probably shoot the ball better. If you done stuck around this long, man, go on subscribe to the channel. And shout out to you, man. I appreciate you watching my video. But let me say this. I'm not saying that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win the NBA championship. I'm a Lakers fan, and honestly, I think the Lakers are going to win the NBA championship. I just feel like the Milwaukee Bucks have just as good of a chance of coming out of the East as the Brooklyn Nets. And if you ask me, I think they're the better all-around team. But once again, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a video. Until next time, it's been my pleasure. Y'all have a blessed day.